What's about The Housemaid? This is the new film from Paul Feig based on the novel from Freida McFadden, which became a whole cultural hit when it came out in 2022. It has spawned some sequels, and yes, this movie will give us a hint at a sequel. We'll talk about that in spoilers tomorrow. This film stars Sydney Sweeney, Amanda Seyfried, as well as Brandon Sklenar. And I will tell you, I went into this movie not knowing anything about the book, and the screening I went to was full of a book club. There was a lot of people who had read the book, and I was curious about this movie a ton because not only was this Sydney Sweeney's last opportunity this year to prove how much of a box office draw she can be, but also Amanda Seyfried is in this movie, and she does have another movie coming out next month called The Testament of Anne Lee, which is vastly different in terms of themes and I would say type of film, right? So I'm very curious going into this movie, and I've heard some great things about the book and I was excited. What are my thoughts and opinions after watching it? Well, let's talk about it. Hit the subscribe button, hit the notification bell. Let's get to 50,000 subscribers. That's our huge goal. Thank you for everybody who has subscribed this year. Really appreciate it. Just turned into a bad month because my internet's been out for weeks. AT&T, I don't know. But let's get into The Housemaid and my thoughts on this. So pretty much this follows a young woman played by Sydney Sweeney who is trying to sort of find a job. And the reason she's trying to find a job is because she currently has nowhere to go pretty much. And so a housemaid job would be ideal because this would mean she's able to stay at the home. So Millie, who is played by Sydney Sweeney, is able to find a job with Nina, played by Amanda Seyfried, at her home. She is this very rich person that just has a spectacular home. It is beautiful inside and out. And this is like a dream gig for Millie. And it goes well at the beginning, well, at the very beginning. And then things take a sharp left turn because Millie starts to find out there's more to what's going on in this house than she realizes. And Nina might not be there for her best intentions. And this is where things really spiral out of control, especially with the husband Andrew. Now, I won't get more into this because this is a film that you really just have to go in not knowing much, because I think it really adds to the experience. And I will tell you, it was an experience with a full crowd. Let's get into my favorite thing about this film, and that is going to be Amanda Seyfried's performance as Nina. This is a very difficult role, I think, for Amanda Seyfried to play, because you have to play this role in a way where Nina is very three-dimensional. She cannot just be a flat character or a caricature of what you're thinking she's going to be. Nina is a lot more. And I think Amanda Seyfried does it well, especially if you rethink of some of the scenes you watch and all of that. You really see the complexity that Amanda Seyfried tries to add to this character so that this film by the end really hits a lot harder, I think. And I really do love Amanda Seyfried. I think she is so talented, and I'm excited to see The Testament of Anne Lee. That's one of the few films that I have not been able to watch this year that I really want to watch, so I cannot wait for that to release. But she really is showcasing how high of a caliber of an actress she is, because I think that what she's able to perform here and do in certain scenes is just outstanding. Honestly, just leaves you quietly watching her jaw on the floor. Just incredible acting from her. So that was definitely a plus from the movie here. I think Paul Feig as a director as well really knows how to escalate films in a way, because to me The Housemaid kind of works like a higher end soap opera with a lot of the twists and turns in the way that Paul really plays his characters on screen and his camera and everything for those big reveals, those big twists and all of that. It adds a lot more layer and a bit more of a punch when they come through, and I think Paul has always done an incredible job with that. I really love this series, A Simple Favor, and if you like that and you don't know what The Housemaid is, sort of think of it like that, but more of a smaller enclosed space vibe here, because it pretty much takes place all in this house. But I think that Paul Feig does an incredible job at making it feel so grand. Now, I do think there's some characters here and there that really feel pushed to the side, and I don't know if it's the same in the book, because it's always hard to really pull off a book anyways to begin with, because it's such a different format of entertainment. And I can see how characters can kind of get swept away and really just forgotten, especially the gardener handyman here, who is played by the guy from 365 Days. So I thought that was an interesting note there. And I think that Sweeney here is just okay. I don't really ever have been moved by a Sydney Sweeney performance ever. I think she has some great moments here when she's playing the character of Millie, but sometimes she just reverts back to just playing Sydney Sweeney playing a character. And that's the only thing I have a problem with the film. I think when she has certain scenes with Amanda, it really gets elevated a lot more, and you really get a great sense of her coming into this character of Millie. But at times when it's just Sydney Sweeney playing Millie solo and all of that, it kind of just sort of falls, and I kind of lose myself. Like, I don't see that this is Millie, I just see this as Sydney Sweeney on the screen. You know what I mean? Like, I just feel she's not really putting that performance. I don't know how Millie is in the book. I've never read the book. You let me know what you think if you've watched it. I just didn't really vibe with Sweeney's performance here, and it's been hard for me to ever really vibe with her as an actress. I just can't. I do think that the way the film unravels on its own is kind of interesting as well. I really do love that. But this is what I mean when you turn a book into a film, because I feel like there is a lot of exposition dump towards the end of the film, which can kind of feel a little bit like it's just losing you. But I think it is the performance from Amanda in these moments and all of that that really bring it together. But it's just the format in which the revelations and everything was done, which I think could have been done a lot better for the film and made it that much more like impactful. But that's just the thing. It's kind of hard to do that because I see how that could have been done in the book and it makes sense for the book. But for the film, I feel like they could have had a little bit more interwoven throughout and really had it flow a lot better. But it's just the formats. They're so different, and they sort of have like things that really work in a book can really fall flat in a movie, and things that really work in a movie can't really be sort of showcased in a book. You know, that's just the thing when you're going from one format to another, but it's one of the only things too as well. I think Brandon as Andrew did a good job. I think that we could have had a little bit more of Brandon throughout and really like flesh this character out. But this is why I wonder if The Housemaid would have worked better being like a TV show, because I think there's a lot that they try to package into the movie. And of course, that's nobody's fault. I think that they did a movie. It's just the way that the producers and everybody wanted it to be. But I think that you really could have fleshed out these characters a bit more. And I think the story's impact would have been a lot harder. But I'm not going to lie, I was like jaw on the floor with those twists and revelations that come towards the middle and end of this film, because I just was like, what? So I think that there is a lot here. It is fun to watch with a crowd. I enjoyed it. I will tell you that. I know I had some things I didn't like, but as overall an experience and entertainment, it was entertaining as hell. I had a good time watching it. The crowd did as well. And that's one of the things too with watching a film in the theater. The crowd experience can really amplify a lot of things. And I don't know if I would have the same reaction watching it by myself at home. Like, would I have really gotten like about the film? But I think the crowd reaction really is what elevates it. There is sort of like a continuation going on here. It seems with the books, it does have a second book, so I'm pretty sure they're going to want to make the second book into a film. And with that, I just hope they kind of tweak around the things that kind of fell flat for the first one and really deliver on the second one. But overall, I think The Housemaid is a fun time. I think if you enjoyed the book, you'll probably enjoy this one. It seems from the crowd that already read the book with me. And if you're there to see Amanda Seyfried, you will not be disappointed. She really carries the film and really takes it to that next level. And I'm excited to see what she does next. But overall, very fun, decent film to watch, especially if you don't have anything else to watch in the theaters and if you're a fan of the book. So that's my thoughts and opinions on it. But I do want to read the book. I'm curious about that second book as well. And where do we go here from this story? Because I was just like asking a bunch of questions at the end, and I'm going to have to pick up the book, y'all. I need to know where the story goes next. But anyways, as always, that is going to do it for me. Follow me for more on things you love. 50,000 subscribers is the goal. I'll see all of you next time. Stay safe, stay positive.